More than a dozen businesses are now burnt and destroyed after a fire erupted early this morning and tore through a Nederland strip mall. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sam Shocker. As the heavy flames did their damage, residents around the immediate area got an evacuation notice, and the smoke took over the small Boulder County town. That evacuation has since been lifted, though. The fire was spotted a little after 3:30 this morning in the shopping center off Highway 119. That's where 9 News' reporter Rachel Krause is live, and a lot of smoke still visible.
Yeah, Sam, more than 8 hours after this fire first started, we are still seeing huge plumes of smoke coming out of this fire here at the shopping center in Nederland. We've been seeing crews throughout the morning putting out hotspots that have been popping up, continuing to go and inspect. We've seen huge tanks of water coming through, making sure that fire crews have what they needed. And residents are being asked to conserve water so that the fire crews have everything they need to get this put out. The fire was first reported around 3:40 this morning at the Caribou Village Shopping Center. The center houses more than a dozen businesses, including a substation for the Boulder County Sheriff's Office. Almost all of those businesses have been impacted in some way. One resident says that the building's roof looked like lasagna. Soon after that fire broke out this morning, evacuation orders were given, but those were lifted hours later. For residents and business owners, the damage is devastating, but many say they're proud of how the community is coming together.
As soon as the fire department showed up, they were right there, and then they started blocking everything off. My friend John owns the Mountain Man store, and I texted him to let him know what was going on, and he walked over. Everyone's been so wonderful communicating with each other and checking in on each other.
Trace Gringos Nederland posted on Facebook that they'd be closed for the foreseeable future. According to the Sheriff's Office, B&F Market, the only grocery store in town, escaped major damage, but too early to tell if they have water or smoke damage from the efforts to get this fire put out. No word yet on what caused this fire, but we are expecting to get an update from the Boulder County Sheriff later this afternoon for more information about what caused the fire, how it's going, getting this all put out, as well as the substation that was impacted in the shopping center here. The mayor of Nederland has just gone to the scene in the past 20 or so minutes. He tells us he is absolutely devastated by the damage that he's seeing, and he's reached out to lawmakers in the area asking for help, trying to see if there's any assistance that they can provide. Reporting live in Nederland, Rachel Krause, 9 News.
Yeah, Rachel, heartbreaking to see those buildings behind you engulfed in smoke, but to hear that the community is showing up, truly inspiring. Rachel Krause, thank you. Relatives of a woman who they say was found dead in the middle of a Wheat Ridge road last weekend are anxiously awaiting answers from authorities. Connie Chavez was found on Elliott Court just before 3 Friday morning. So far, police are calling the death suspicious, but not saying anything else. But her friends and family believe it may have been some sort of foul play. Chavez leaves behind 3 children, all under the age of 10. And as they wait for more information, her family and friends have set up a memorial for her. Police in Aurora are looking for the person who stabbed a woman on an RTD bus. Police say officers were called to the scene near East Colfax Avenue and Potomac Street just after 4 yesterday afternoon. They report the victim was taken to a hospital for treatment, but they believe she will survive. Again, no arrests have been made, so if you have any information, call Aurora Police. An Aurora police sergeant who supervises school resource officers is accused of crimes against children. Aurora police announced the FBI arrested Sergeant Aaron Bunch for allegations that he exchanged online material exploiting children. APD says Bunch was hired in 2005 and was not currently assigned to any school. The department put him on unpaid administrative leave and launched an internal investigation. APD says there's no evidence at this point that any students or children in the Aurora community were victimized. But the superintendents of both Cherry Creek Schools and Aurora Public Schools were made aware of the situation. It will be another nice, calm weather day, and feel free to dress lightly because the heat will be on. But how warm will it get? Joining me now is senior meteorologist with the 9 News Weather Impact Team, Chris Bianchi. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Sam. Yeah, exactly right. It's going to be on the warm side. And today may be our last 80-degree temperature of the year for us here in Denver as well. Meantime, look up towards Long's Peak. Still a little snow. It's kind of a blurred there, but what a beautiful shot. Some of those clouds trapped down there in the valley, and overall starting to see some of those clouds move on in. Low to mid 70s right now across most of the metro area. Cloud cover building on up for us here in town as well. Temperatures 70s, 80s, eastern plains, 50s and 60s for us in the mountains right now. Starting to see a few of those showers pop on up for us here in the San Juans and on north towards the western slope. Not much coming from that yet, but later on this afternoon it will start to storm for us in the mountains. In Denver, though, the story and the impact, it's really one thing and one thing only. It's the heat. Temperatures will get up into the low 80s for us. And as we look ahead at that forecast for today, 82. Increasing clouds. Starting to see a fair bit of that already for us. Average high 68. We're going to be about 15 degrees above average. But then some real deal rain moves into the mountains with the potential for 2 inches plus of rainfall thanks to the remnants of a hurricane. I'll explain that in my full forecast.
A deal has been reached to bring peace to Gaza after 2 long years of fighting between Israel and the armed Palestinian group Hamas. However, the Israel cabinet still needs to give its final approval before a ceasefire can begin. NBC's Richard Engel has a closer look.
In Egypt this morning, Israel and Hamas committed to President Trump's plan to end the war in Gaza. And now, relief and celebrations in Gaza and in Israel. This was the moment when President Trump told the families of Israeli hostages over the phone that their loved ones would be coming home.
The hostages will come back. They're all coming back on Monday.
Diplomacy moved quickly over the last 24 hours. Yesterday afternoon, Secretary of State Marco Rubio interrupted President Trump at a White House event.
I was just given a note by the Secretary of State saying that we're very close to a deal in the Middle East, and they're going to need me pretty quickly.
The note said Trump needed to approve a post so he could be the first to announce that the deal was reached. Under the deal, Hamas must release all the hostages it's still holding, 20 believed to be still alive, and the remains of 28 more. Israeli troops agree to pull back from Gaza in stages and free hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. Aid and reconstruction materials flood into Gaza, and Hamas leaves power for good. The toll of this war has been shocking since it began on October 7th, 2 years ago, when Hamas terrorists stormed into Israel, murdering more than 1,200 people and taking 251 hostages, including babies. Israel responded by flattening Gaza, displacing the population, driving many to starvation, and killing more than 67,000, according to local health officials. Israeli officials said the military campaign was the only way to pressure Hamas, while Israeli hostages and their families waited in agony. Now, perhaps this dark page in history is turning.